How we doing, everybody? Welcome inside Bill Matic. That's right. This is your ode to 90s hip-hop, Nas's classic album, Illmatic, and the Bills' quest for an elusive Super Bowl. I'm Damon Amendolar. You can usually catch me weekday mornings on Mad Dog Sports Radio, Channel 82 on Sirius XM, and NFL Radio, Channel 88 on Sirius XM. Each week, I go live right after the Bills game and break down the good, the bad, and the mystical, okay? And so with this whitewash of the Jets, here's my big takeaways. And by the way, if this is something that could interest you over the course of this football season, make sure you are subscribed. We are right now live on X, we are live on Instagram, and we're live on YouTube. If you're on YouTube, make sure you are subscribed to the channel. That way you get notified when we go live. If you're on Twitter, X, or Instagram, make sure you are following this account at Damon Amendo. To me, these are the big takeaways from the Jets debacle and the Bills' easy victory 30-10 at MetLife. Number one, this was a referendum on the offseason for Brandon Beane and the front office. Number one, you had the play of the day, James Cook, and that running hard, open field, elusive with power as well, touchdown, which basically iced the game of the first half. And there's a reason you pay James Cook. There's a reason that you reward that guy. And the reason is that you have to make sure everybody knows that we are in it to win it right now if you're Brandon Beane. You have to let the entire locker room, organization, coaching staff know this right here is the moment, is the time, and we're not cutting corners. You can certainly make the argument that there was more than enough talent with the Buffalo running back depth chart that you could afford not to pay James Cook. You can make the argument in today's NFL, you don't need to pay a running back. And yet, I think because he was so productive last year, because he's so well-liked in the locker room, because this is the moment in time that you have to send the message, there's no excuses. You had to pay James Cook. You had to send that statement out to everybody within the organization. And he delivers today with the statement play, which really creates the separation that you need in a game like this to kind of exhale. Also, Bosa. Bosa had a tough start to last week's game against the Ravens. He tied things up. And then today, it was just a man unleashed. Now, he really got loose when the game got loose and sent Justin Fields to the blue tent. But Bosa is going to end up being either a brilliant masterstroke by Beane or a guy that lacks health, gets injured, productivity down the stretch, and kind of fizzles out. But some people thought it wasn't enough. Right now, it looks like more than enough. That was a brilliant move in the offseason by Beane, as Bosa's all over the place today. I also think not only is it a referendum on the offseason today, but also it's a referendum on the attitude of the team. The fact that this squad did not come out of the thrilling victory over the Ravens on Sunday night and take it lightly. Look, there was a pathway where the Jets run the football. The Jets, have some momentum coming out of the Pittsburgh game. The Bills had this emotional win, comeback win, and Buffalo comes out flat. And it's a close game. Maybe it's an ugly game, and perhaps the Bills get scared. Perhaps they lose. Perhaps they have to pull a rabbit out of the hat late. But there was certainly a pathway that was realistic. Instead, it was drop the hammer. It was drop the hammer, create the separation, and cruise to victory. If you are trying to do something you've never done before, which is get to a Super Bowl and then win it, seeding in the playoffs is massive, and seeding in the playoffs come down to games like this. Yeah, you got to have tiebreakers, and beating the Baltimore Ravens is one of those tiebreakers. But you also can't punt away an advantage you created for yourself in the standings by losing a game like this, by coming out flat. The journey has to be every single Sunday, putting your best foot forward. And today they did in a game that I think you could have seen a reality where the Bills came out a little flat. They didn't do that. So that's important. And also, I thought it was a referendum on culture guys, developing guys. There's a turning point of this game to me in the first half when the Bills have a 10-0 lead, but the Jets get back-to-back big plays. There's a 12-yard run by Breece Hall and then an 18-yard gain by Garrett Wilson. The Jets are just about at midfield, and they're putting something together. Crowd is into it. Here's the crisp Justin Fields we saw a week ago. Jets have their playmakers. It's Fields, it's Breece, it's Garrett Wilson. They're out to midfield. It's about almost the 50-yard line. It's about the 45-yard line, and they're down 10-0. They carry this momentum down the field. They kick a field goal or score a touchdown. It's a one-score game. And the Jets then have some juice. And instead, on 1st and 10, they run that end around, and Christian Bedford stays home. And when he stays home, he creates a massive loss of 10 yards. Now, first of all, it's the discipline of staying home, but also it is a really tough open field tackle and a skill position guy in the backfield, and you're one-on-one. Now, this is a 6th-round draft pick coming out of Villanova. And here he is developed into one of the best defensive players on this roster and making a big play like that. That's what the Bills have done really well. That was a great play. It then sets up a short field for the Bills. It short circuits that drive for the Jets. Bills get the short field, score a field goal. It's 13-0. It's off to the races. That right there was one of those culture-type plays and moments in a game where you get defined by those if you're going for the big one, the big ring, the big trophy. Those are things that have to happen. You've got to find guys, develop guys, and they have to make those types of plays where a game can go one way or the other. So that was my big takeaway from today's victory by the Bills to move to 2-0. Also, it's pretty big considering the Chiefs have a massive challenge on their hands later on today against the Eagles. So should Philadelphia pull out a victory, Bills are 2-0. The Chiefs, your nemesis, could be 0-2. That still has to be played. So that's the big takeaways here. Every week doing the post-game recap, I've got good, I've got bad, and I've got the mystical. The good comes in the form of shouts, okay? So again, if you got any comments, thoughts, feedback on this game, hit me up in the comment section, either on Twitter, either on Instagram, or on YouTube. I'm getting them all right here on the screen, and I can highlight a few of those as we make our way through this day, this post-game recap here on Bill Matic, your post-game home for breakdown throughout the season, okay? So let's do this. Let's give you the shouts on the game. All right, and the shouts to me begin with, as I said, a couple of the players today that kind of made those big plays one way or the other. And one of those big plays being, the Christian Bedford play. You had Bosa all over the place, and you had the big run by James Cook. I also thought, when Trubisky had to come in, when you had Josh Allen out, when he had to come in, strike to Palmer. It's a good throw. And QB2 was one of the most interesting battles of training camp. And QB2 ultimately goes to Trubisky. And you don't ever want to have to see Trubisky. You hope he never plays a significant snap all season long. You're praying that he never has to get into a game because of injury, just blowout. But he was forced in there, threw a nice strike, looked comfortable. That's a nice throw. Matt Prater, the story of Matt Prater continues. I mean, this thing is wild as well, is it not? That Prater didn't have a job 72 hours before the season begins. And here he is, not only hitting the walk-off game winner against the Ravens, but a 52-yarder early in this game. That was a big kick, okay? And he had a couple of good individual efforts. Kincaid had a nice catch and carry on 3rd and 9 when they're up 20-3. That kind of crushes the spirit of the Jets. That's a good play. And the Elijah Moore touchdown. Don't you have to think that Joe Brady has that play in there just to give Moore a chance to do it against his former team? I know that there's a package in there that Elijah Moore runs, but that just felt like, to me, let's reward Elijah Moore with a touchdown here so he can have the moment at MetLife Stadium. All that was good stuff. I thought also, if you're looking for shouts from a Bill standpoint, the Jets did themselves no favors with all types of penalties all day long. So that bailed out the Bills early in the game. I thought all of those penalties were legit, but ultimately, they end up hurting the Jets in big-time ways, and the Jets being undisciplined. Who would have ever thought? Who could have ever seen that happening? Also, on that first drive where Josh Allen rolls and scrambles and kind of like throws half a stiff arm, half a smackdown against the defender was a pretty cool moment as well. So those overall with your 30-10 victory, an easy win, just kind of getting it done, getting it out of the way, making sure the Jets don't hang around with some good efforts. That was all good. Those are all shouts on the day. There are, even despite the blowout victory, some knocks as well. First of all, a knock to Tony Romo and Jim Nantz. Here they are when Allen gets, popped in the nose. And boy, it was sirens alert, call the authorities, somebody investigate. This means something. This has to mean something. This is serious, Jim. This has got to be serious, Jim. Oh, my goodness. You would have thought that Josh Allen had lost a limb on the play. Oh, my God. Amputation of the sideline, Jim. I mean, he gets popped in the nose. It's profusely bleeding. They got to stop the bleeding because he's got to go out there and call plays. It's week 2. It's the first half. There's not 2 minutes to go in the AFC Championship game. Yeah, Josh Allen's a tough dude. But if there's blood coming out of his nose and it's the second quarter in week 2, he's got to come out for a couple of plays. That's not the definition of serious. I mean, causing all of Western New York to hyperventilate. I mean, come on here. He's getting a wad of tissue stuffed up his nose. Was that need? Was that cause? Was there a need to go crazy on it's serious, Jim? This is serious. This has got to be really serious. Oh, my God. Relax. After they go to break, and maybe that was the plan, give him a breather. We're almost at the end of the first quarter. He'll get even more time if we wait until the end of the first quarter. That was probably the plan anyway. He comes back right out of that. Oh, my goodness. Talk about freak out when there's no reason to freak out. Number 2, I mean, these are little things. I thought early in the game, there wasn't a lot of space in running the football up the middle. Jets were closing it pretty good. Brady kept kind of forcing the issue there. Ultimately, the dam broke, so you got to give him credit. Also, there's the drive that stalls in the red zone. They end up kind of calling conservatively in the red zone. Even up 20-3, they were conservative. They ran on 3rd and 4. It didn't come back to haunt them. They kicked the field goal 23-3. So, I know that there are some people that feel like Brady can get too conservative, maybe too infatuated with the run game. But I think the idea today was, and I thought it was smart, if you get a lead, you don't have to go for end-of-game plays. You just have to go to make smart plays because the Jets don't have a comeback offense. They want to run the football. They don't have a big play offense. So instead of trying with everything you got to keep ending the game with high-powered, plays, you can run the football. You don't make a mistake. You take the point. And, if we've got a lead, even if it's 14 points, 13 points, 20 points, certainly this team's not equipped to come back. And certainly they were not. And, Keon Coleman gets that offensive pass interference. What you're hoping for after that big week 1 was that Coleman ends up developing into wide receiver 1. He was quiet today, but the passing game in general was quiet. That was his one opportunity. Really good catch, and that would have been a big chain mover. Didn't happen. So it has to be kind of a quiet, hard knock here on the day. But when you roll the Jets, not a lot of hard knocks to be had. Because this is a quest to do something that's never been done, we always look for the mystical as well. But before we get to the mystical, I want to salute our sponsor here on Bill Matic, and that would be Sandbaggers. That's right, Sandbaggers, which is located in downtown Hamburg, right on Main Street. This place is amazing. It is Western New York's ultimate golf simulator, okay? It's a sports bar golf simulator, and it's open all day on Sundays for NFL games. This is awesome. A lot of places might close early, but not Sandbaggers. It's open all day on Sundays for a full day of NFL action. So get down there. They just opened this place up a couple of weeks ago. So if you haven't heard about it, you haven't been there, get there now. Sandbaggers is awesome. And this is where we are going to have a meetup. I'm coming up for the Saints game on September 28th. The day before, on the Saturday 27th, I'm doing a meet and greet with all the listeners, all the fans, everybody that wants to come by. Tab is on me. That's right. I'm putting the credit card down. Come on by. We're going to do a meetup on Saturday, September 26th. Come on down. Let's have a blue light together. Let's hang out. Let's talk a little football. I'm very excited about this meet and greet, and the good people over there at Sandbaggers, huge supporters of the show. They've been supporters of my radio show, now supporters of this show, which I'm super grateful for. Sandbaggers, Hamburg, get there Saturday, the 27th. That date said the 26th. I got to change that. That's on me. Raise my hand here. That's on me. Saturday, the 27th in the afternoon. I'll give full details and times coming up here. But at that time, at that day, on that date, be there. I'll be there as well. And beers are on me, okay? Finally, we are always looking for the mystical around here. And so why not look to honor the Buffalo? Yeah, and, as I said to start off the show, when you're looking to do something that's never been done, you have to change expectations. Teams that stink, that bring in culture changers, look at Dan Campbell in Detroit. He was asked about, going 0-1 to lead off the season, and people calling this a must-win game in week 2. And he said, if there's pressure on us to win week 2, that means we change the culture around here. We change expectations because it didn't used to be that way. And I thought that's a perfect way to put it. If you are going to change what has always happened, you have to make people believe something different. And I thought the Cook signing, again, if you wanted to rationalize this of paying a running back or the depth at running back for the Bills, spreading out the wealth a little bit more, you need more help on defense, what have you, you could certainly do that. And I've made the argument in the past about paying running backs. But if you're going to do something mythical in Buffalo, it has to be about the message to everybody. We're all in right now. Now is the time. Now is the moment. And when you pay James Cook, the signal is now is the moment. No excuses. Guys will be rewarded. Go out there, and you've got your full complement of guys. We've got everything we need right here. Let's do this right now. So honoring the Buffalo means honoring the respect and integrity of that locker room, of guys that put their body on their lines for you. And that was one of those things that I thought Brandon Beane got right and Sean McDermott got right in the offseason building this team. So that's that. Hey, if you enjoy this type of breakdown, make sure you are subscribed to the channel on YouTube. Make sure you're subscribed. That way you'll get notified when we go live. That's easy for you. Again, at Damon Amendo is it across all social media platforms, okay? That is Twitter, that is Instagram, that is YouTube, at Damon Amendo. Hit me up on any of those. If you're on X or you're on Instagram watching right now, make sure you are following me so that you know when we go live as well. It's not just Bills coverage around here, even though that backdrop would suggest it. I mean, look at how beautiful that is. That's a Cornelius Bennett. That's a Thurman. That's a Steve Tasker. That's a Josh. That's just good old-fashioned 90s and Josh Allen energy right there. But also, I'm recapping the entire weekend, okay? So at 7:30 Eastern time, catch me right here on all these platforms again for Watch DA Live. We'll be breaking down all of the games throughout the day, including Chiefs and Eagles, okay? So be here, 7:30 Eastern time. Sunday nights, we go live every single Sunday as well. That's why you should be subscribed, so that you get that content and notifications as well. Man, that's how we do it. Sandbaggers, come see me. Come hang out. Come have a beer on me. In a couple of Saturdays from now, less than 2 weeks away, I can't wait to be up there. I'm very, very fired up. Let's do this, okay? For everybody out there, Bills Mafia, Bills fans, football fans that come here and flock for the good mojo, thanks for coming. I'm DA, Damon Amendolara. I'll see you a little bit later on tonight. Be good. Be good to one another. And Bill Matic is signing off. I'm telling you, we're going to do this each and every week, and we need you here. So let's do this.